In this video, I'm going to show you how I cut a hole in my house to install a skylight that turns into a balcony. In the last video of this series, I completed the framing of the loft platform itself. The next step in the series is to install a skylight, but not just any skylight. As you saw in the intro of the video, this skylight turns into a balcony. I am so excited about this, but it will require me to cut a giant hole in my ceiling. So the first thing I did was take a whole bunch of measurements, double check them, and then set up a laser to start throwing up some lines. This is complicated, I'll tell you that. But what's really cool is I've always known that these Bosch lasers can throw you a level line around the entire room, but I've never used it where I'm using 3 different lines like this. But this opening from this bottom laser line up to that top one, this is the entire skylight section that I need to cut out and delete in order to do the rough opening. I've never cut a hole in my ceiling before. This is very intimidating. It's also, this angle makes it very complicated, but you know what? There's nothing that can't be fixed if it's not proper. So I say we just go for it. Note that for right now, I'm only aiming to cut through the drywall. We only had a few hours left in the day to work, and I did not want to open up the roof overnight. Instead of trying to make it come down in one giant sheet, I break it up into manageable sections. This is a very dusty job, which is exactly why I put up the plastic wall to close off my kitchen and the bedroom. Watch video 1 of this series if you want to see how to turn a home into a job site. Pop the chalk line on this laser line, so whenever I'm in front of it, I can still see where I'm supposed to go. Ta-da! Now I need to take out this rafter in order to open up this entire stud bay. Then I probably need to do a little bit of cleaning up on my line. Oop, remove that insulation up there. These balcony skylights do come in different widths, and the one I chose needed to have a wider stud bay to fit into. Velux has specs for each one of their skylights, so I used 2x material in order to create the opening size needed for my specific unit. It's made to fit within standard framing base, so I really only had to add a few blocks to the top and bottom. Okay, step 3, blocking, done. This part of the unit is called the jamb. If you've ever installed a door, it's the same process, but this is on the ceiling. I now just had to transfer my hole to the top of the roof through the shingles, which again, it was pretty intimidating. But on the other hand, how often do you have an opportunity to cut a hole in your roof? It was pretty cool. I did the exact same process as with the drywall. I cut it up into sections and dropped it a little bit at a time. And these sheets are harder since they have all of the roofing nails sticking through. So Jacob was on the outside of the roof grabbing the section so they wouldn't fall back into me. There's the light. Oh my goodness. Wow. Tell me my job's not crazy. Wow, look at that view. That's what the view's gonna be. That's crazy. Wow, this is crazy. We're gonna try to be working quickly because now the house is open to the humidity. Of course, it's a hot Texas day, the day I open up the house. Also, just a side note, I know goggles look dorky, but in times like these, they are 100% the best option for keeping crap out of your eyes. Whew. Yay. Wow. Funny part is I just had my house re-roofed like a month ago. Let me pause and talk about the height of the skylight real quick. My roof design is called a Dutch roof, which goes from a typical slope down into a very low angle slope, which means in the framing there is a pitch change right here. And this joint dictated the height on where my skylight started, since it needs a single slope to work. It's not a big deal. This just means I designed a custom cabinet that would be a bookshelf and a staircase. Note that if I didn't have the weird roof design, then the skylight could have been set much lower down and I wouldn't have needed a staircase. However, I personally love it up high where the sun can cascade beautifully over the finished bookshelves. So now what we need to do is go around the perimeter of this opening and peel back the shingles because the skylight has some like flanges that will stick in here, and then we'll put it back down over it. Oh, this isn't bad. This part being passed up is the jamb and goes right into the opening. If you're building a house, these are way easier to install during construction. However, it's definitely achievable to do as I'm doing and modify a space to include one. For me, the light this will bring into this space is 1000% worth it. So now on these flanges, they need to go underneath the shingles and underneath the rain protection. And so what we did is we pried back the shingles some. So now we're going to fold these back. Thank you, Jake. All at the same time and lay them right back on top of it. We're going to drive in screws, and then that way we can fold it right back on top. Next, I'm preparing the jamb to receive the sashes, the glass panels. I first install what will later be the rails. There it is. Okay, so I just installed these rails. They'll open like this, which is kind of cool. This thing is really well thought out and designed. We had to temporarily hold the lower sash open so that we could work on getting the upper sash into its place. Oh, okay, I got it. Okay. Screwed down. All right, we have the bottom sash in, and then they incorporate some hardware in order to hold that open to now put in the top sash. These things are very heavy, they're very well built, but now we're going to pick this up, put it up there, and then try to install it in that upper portion of the opening. We laid down a protected drop cloth so that we could slide it up without scratching it. Then the three of us moved it up. Reset positions, and then moved it finally into its place. It is heavy, so my friend Gary joined us. There, it's in.
All right, that's nice.
It could then be rotated and clicked into place. You want me to climb up the ladder and push it more? Feels smooth. Doesn't feel like any hitches. Going up another. Wow. Okay. Oh my goodness. Just like that. Clicking that, okay. I push.
Yeah, look at that.
Wow. With that in, now it is time to thoroughly flash around the unit. It comes with an entire flashing kit, and know this, Velux is the brand of skylights on the market that is highly known for not leaking. Once the outside was buttoned up, then it was on to the inside. For this, we built a simple trim out to slip right into place as one complete unit, rather than installing the trim boards individually. Velux actually comes with the dado and the jamb to receive trim like this. So Jacob and I worked it into place and then simply nailed it down. To fully finish, the details here were to fill in the nail holes and then caulk around the entire perimeter. Oh, I also installed the shades. Yeah, comes with shades and a bug net. Check out how these can open from either end, allowing me to adjust the light as I want throughout the day. I'm gonna go ahead and jump ahead in the series a little bit to show you the completed project where I have the staircase and a landing platform in order to enjoy the skylight. Ugh, for me, this skylight makes the entire space. To say it is magical is an understatement. Between the amount of light that it lets in, the function of letting me open it up completely on nice days, and then even be able to step out whenever I want to enjoy the view, ugh, it is perfect. So yes, not every single space can accommodate a roof balcony, but if you're wanting light or even a skylight that opens upward, Velux makes an entire product line that offers natural light solutions with the amazing reputation of not leaking. Stay tuned for the next video where I build the weirdest cabinet I've ever built in order to utilize this space, but also reach the skylight.